Welcome to the Leadership Launchpad Project, brains behind the business. It's your front row seat to the business elite.
Welcome to the Leadership Launchpad Project, brains behind the business. I'm Rob Kalwarowski, and today we have a special guest with us. She's the president and CEO of Invest Ottawa. She's the co-founder of SheBoot. Sonya Shorey is with us. Sonya, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Amazing. It's so incredible to have you on the show. And so we always have to start this show off with a quote. And so I have one here from Wendell Berry. And he says, "When we no longer know what to do, we have come to our real work. And when we no longer know which way to go, we've begun our real journey."
Powerful.
Sonya, what do you think about that quote?
I think it inspires learning, and that the greatest learnings and the truth in our lives is in the journey and in all the moments that you don't plan for and expect, and where you need to come together with others to shape what that journey looks like and to achieve your greatest impact. I think it's beautiful.
Amazing. And you're someone who creates a huge impact. So Sonya, obviously, you may be new to some of the folks listening to this show. Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Absolutely. So I'm Sonya. I'm a Brockville girl, about 1 hour away from Ottawa. Very, very committed to my family, very fortunate, and had so much love surrounding me growing up, and then had this wonderful opportunity to come to Carleton University and do my undergraduate and meet some incredible people and fall in love with Ottawa as a global tech and business hub. Just was in awe of technology and innovation and knew I wanted to be there. I didn't know what that would look like. I had no clue how I would contribute. I was an arts graduate, English political science, but that's where I wanted to be. I was fascinated and had the great fortune to work very early on with companies like Calian and Nortel Networks, a giant in telecommunications. Perhaps to this day, the most formative career experience I've had in my life, and the relationships that were formed there were so pivotal and are continue to be so pivotal to my learning journey. And then evolving into an opportunity with CMC Microsystems, working with all the post-secondaries across the country in areas that were so exciting and where research was being applied in such powerful ways to improve human lives. And then launched my own business as a consultant, specifically dedicated to entrepreneurship, economic development, innovation, collaboration. I had the privilege of working with dozens of amazing organizations coast to coast and international partners. In Israel, I worked a lot in California, as well as India, China, and Brazil, just looking at how Canadian innovators and companies could collaborate for mutual benefit. Those experiences really shaped who and what I am, and a lot of my learning and a lot of my vision, and hopefully a lot of the way that I continue to collaborate with those here in our city, whether they're startups or multinationals or post-secondary researchers. And through that journey, an incredible opportunity to help be on the ground floor of Bayview Yards, what is now our innovation hub here in the city of Ottawa. The opportunity to work with those founding board members, those initial investors and sponsors, and all kinds of innovators and founders and entrepreneurs across our community. That was 10 years ago, Rob. It's impossible to me to look back and imagine walking through that building that was very dilapidated. It was an old abandoned city building that has been transformed with so much heart and vision and passion and investment of many different kinds from all three levels of government as well as the private sector. And now it's just the home to this incredible array of people who are doing amazing things both in our city and together with others outside of our city. And that led to this incredible opportunity with Invest Ottawa. So I've actually been with Invest Ottawa for, I want to say, almost 8 years. Was their vice president of strategy, marketing, and communication. Got to know so many different stakeholders across our region and work on such fascinating projects that allowed me to tackle together with so many others big issues, whether it was how we commercialize autonomous technologies, how we help to accelerate the scale up of more $100 million anchor companies that take roots here in Ottawa and in Canada and grow long-term jobs and economic impact, to attracting foreign direct investment, Diversity, equity, and inclusion, women founders, something I'm so passionate about. I know you and I have talked about this. She-Boot, an incredible collaboration with the Capital Angel Network. I'm so honored to have collaborated with Jennifer Francis and Julie Elvidge on the creation of that boot camp that's now national, nonprofit, that's catalyzed, what I'm allowed to say, $25 million in follow-on investments for amazing women founders. It's higher. It's much higher. But those are areas that, unfortunately, we are restricted and limited just based on confidentiality. But all of this to say, it's been the journey of a lifetime. I love our community. I love what I am given the opportunity to do every day, who I do it with, who I do it for, and together as part of this community. It's just amazing.
It is so amazing. And Sonya, I see you impacting so many areas, and even you did an event, I guess it was a few months ago, where you were raising money for mental health. Like, what mission are you on, and like what drives your impact?
My goodness, it's so hard to choose one mission, Rob. So I'm going to give something that's really, and some might consider a pie in the sky. Whatever gifts I have, whatever gifts I've been given, experience, expertise I've gathered along the way with the help of so many others, I want to put that to work in the most impactful way possible to create big, bold opportunity, moonshots. I'm a lover of moonshots. I'm very passionate about those big, bold, audacious goals and how we can have multi-generational impact. And that impact is never singular. It's never just economic impact. It's never just societal impact. To me, triple bottom line impact is something I have been fascinated by for years and years. And I really value entrepreneurs, companies, and humans that pursue those goals in whatever they undertake in life, whether it's education, building a business, a philanthropic opportunity. Triple bottom line impact means you're having an economic benefit or impact, social and environmental. And we have massive challenges on this planet, so much complexity and so many grand challenges we need to solve. And I firmly believe that we collectively in the city of Ottawa and on planet Earth, if we harness all of the gifts, the skills, the expertise, all the unique perspectives, we can solve massive challenges. We can have that multi-generational impact where it's not just better for the current generation, for our current population, consumers, business owners, but for generations of them, that we're setting children up for that next opportunity, the generations beyond them. Triple bottom line impact is my mission, putting my gifts to work to achieve that big, bold, audacious impact. And that will look different every day, every hour, and likely for every day that I am alive. It changes. And I'm inspired by so many different people and opportunities, technologies, businesses. It's the combination of them. What happens at those intersections? That's where the true power, in my opinion, and the greatest impact comes. That quote you opened up with, right? When you don't know, you're pulling on lots of different expertise, experience, multidisciplinary, multi-sectoral opportunities, those intersections of connectivity. That's where the magic is. That's where the moonshot is. That's where we find discoveries that can cure diseases or to create a cleaner, better world, change the carbon capture structure so that we actually have a planet left, 10 to 100 years from now, that we can all be proud of the sustainability, that it's not just a sustainable economy, that it's a sustainable environment, and not just for one particular part of the population, but for people from every walk of life. I subscribe to this philosophy. I work very hard every day to try and bring that vision to bear with so many amazing collaborators and founders and clients right across our region. Never do anything in isolation, ever. It's all about collaboration for impact.
Sonya, one is, I'm getting fired up over here.
Good.
But two is, I really want to dig into this, like the moonshots and the big audacious goals, because obviously you hear the other side of that equation where it's like people are taught to do SMART goals, where they're achievable and measurable and time sensitive and all these things. And it really, honestly, it limits your thinking. Like, when did you start expanding your perspective and really, and maybe you can kind of illustrate to listeners, how does that help you in what you do?
So I think I've been passionate about this for a long time. I've always, been someone who has loved big dreams and trying to think about the greatest needs, the requirements, and how we harness all different types of expertise, gifts, people, companies to tackle that challenge. And so it's interesting. I think you can bring moonshots together with proper best-in-class annual planning process and strategic planning process. You can look at the milestones that you achieve year over year while you're striving for that moonshot and that big vision, and looking at creating a shared vision that everyone has a stake in. To me, this is one of the critical success factors for any moonshot, because they're not solved by a single person, organization, community. It's the collection of all of those resources, assets, expertise that are harnessed in a powerful way that maybe hasn't been done before that can achieve that. If you create a shared vision where everyone can see a role for themselves, they see themselves in it, they're bought in, they're helping to shape it, and they can achieve the mandate or the vision of their organization within that broader shared vision, my gosh, that's powerful, because then you've got genuine buy-in and you can build a plan 1 year, 10 years, 20 years. A great example for me, and it's one that's very close to my heart. When I started with Invest Ottawa, we were building our strategic plan, brand new leadership team with Michael Tremblay, all new vice presidents, all of whom I have the pleasure and privilege of collaborating with today, and members of our board. We looked at some of the biggest challenges in our community. Women were not being served properly by Invest Ottawa. They didn't feel they had a home. They didn't see themselves. The mentors, the advisors, the clients, the leadership team, there was just this massive gap. And so we brought together, I'm going to say 100 women from different walks of life, different companies, different stages and ages and backgrounds into our foundry, and we talked to them. There was deep pain. There was anger, there was hurt. It was a very important, really life-changing experience for me, if I'm honest, so that I could connect and better understand the needs and what those women were feeling. And if they were feeling it, we knew there were dozens and hundreds or maybe thousands of others. Women are 51% of the population. How are we going to address that? We made it a foundational pillar that wasn't just a thrust of our strategic plan, it was part of the foundation of our strategic plan. We took the first steps by building a subcommittee of our board with women from different walks of life, different areas of expertise that we felt served our mandate and our vision as an economic development agency. We built a strategy with our community with near-term, medium-term, long-term goals so that we had short-term wins, low-hanging fruit that would get us up, that would get people excited and really bought in and being able to build that momentum and that resource. Medium-term goals that looked at the investment that we would require, all the fundamental changes we need to take. Corporate culture has not changed in a day, in a year. It takes 5 years to evolve a corporate culture, and you never stop learning. So it really accounted for some of those big changes fundamentally that we wanted to make inside our organization. That's a journey. You're never done. But together with our community as well, and sharing all of our learnings and being ready to be vulnerable, hit the bumps in the road, be able to be open and to share that. And we hit lots of bumps in the road, and they continue. And that's where the learning is. That's where the power is. And then the long-term goals of long-term sustainable change, where we see collaboration nationally and internationally, because a rising tide lifts all boats. So we could be having, important, meaningful steps forward here in Ottawa if our counterparts and partners and colleagues and investors across the country and around the world, if we're not all working together, we're going to have gaps. It's going to be 300 years to get to gender parity. That's what the UN and the World Economic Forum share in terms of data. That's devastating to me, and that is not acceptable. So if we are leading by example here in our region, inspiring and bringing along others, sharing those goals, we can have that big audacious goal, that moonshot, to get to parity and to make sure that women founders and entrepreneurs from every walk of life don't get 2% of the capital on this planet to support their businesses, but that it's 50%. And that's a goal that we've really tackled through She-Boot and its evolution. So it's all of those different actions, all of those different annual plans and strategic plans that have that big, bold, audacious goal and big moonshot embedded within it. And you're taking meaningful steps, and you're taking stock in the learnings, and you're bringing people along with you, making it everyone's success. It's a shared success and a shared opportunity that continues to evolve. But the key is being intentional and being focused and making sure that you're making investments, financial investment, people power investment, for me, emotional investment and passion. This is not a job. This is something that will be a part of who and what I am. It's in my DNA until I'm in my grave. So this is something I will strive for as long as I have oxygen running through my veins. Like it's that strong for me. Area X.O is another important one. We came together with a collection of founders and companies and identified needs, commercialization of those technologies safely, getting them to customer, market, and revenue faster safely was a very big need. People were forced to go outside of our region or outside of our country to get some of the capabilities that we came together with 5 different companies, BlackBerry, QNX, Nokia, Microsoft, Ericsson, and Accenture, together with all 3 levels of government and our post-secondaries with Invest Ottawa. And step by step, over 4 years, it was launched officially as Area X.O in October of 2020 in the pandemic, a whole other set of learnings. Now we have a $51 million facility that's comprised of 3 innovation-centric sites that are serving Ottawa founders, companies, partners, governments, researchers, not just from our region, but bringing in alternate investment, other big players to work with those startups and adding value to the world, because we're helping them advance their technology safely and getting them to job creation, revenue, customer faster. So it's a journey. Again, there's always learnings. Could it be better? Is there ways we could have done things differently? Always. But that's the journey of leadership, right? Is taking stock, taking in and applying what you've learned. So 2 big moonshots. Our scale-up platform would be the other one that comes to mind. How do we create more $100 million anchor Canadian wholly owned companies, get them to stay here, root here, grow here for all that economic impact? Came together with FedDev Ontario, Mars Discovery District and Communitech, as well as 10 regional partners here in Ottawa and Eastern Ontario. And we have a platform now that's delivered some incredibly impressive results. They're the results and the hard work and the tenacity of the founders and companies we serve, but a lot of collaboration, right? And that's continuing to evolve today. 3 big moonshots, broken into pieces, small bite-sized chunks, but that serve that big picture vision. Can all be done, but it takes intention, focus, heart, and passion.
That's so amazing, Sonya. And I mean, your impact is incredible. Now, I'd love to ask you this. Like, you mentioned your specific gifts. What are your gifts as a leader?
Do you know, that's such a hard question, and it's such an awkward question. I think I am very passionate as a human. When I am all in, I am all in. And nothing can sway me from that big picture goal. So I would like to think that I take that tenacity and that passion and that commitment, and I do my very best as part of my personal learning journey to put it to work in action that delivers impact. That's sort of my guiding light. That's my North Star in my life. And that comes from my mom and dad and all the love that they gave me, and believing that you can do anything, and even when it's hard and you fall down 150 times, resilience is getting yourself back up and pushing through. And there have been lots of bumps in the road. There are no straight lines in this life, personally, professionally, and all the goals that we set, no matter what they are. But the ability to learn and to get back up, even when it's really hard, and there have been lots of days where it's very hard. I lost my mom in 2016, and I wrestle with that every day, because she was someone who constantly built me up and gave me that confidence and that hope and that guiding light. And so now I'm going forward without her and trying to do honor to her legacy in whatever I take on. So I would hope that maybe people would see that as one of my unique gifts. I try and draw from all the people around me, learn from them, and help them. It's a two-way exchange. It's always giving and receiving. Hopefully that's one, and my commitment to that impact, to that triple bottom line. I think that might be something unique that hopefully, again, helps to inspire others. I'm inspired by all the people who are doing it, whether it's companies like The Grocer or philanthropists that are really invested in trying to have that type of impact on our planet. Some of the wealthiest people on this planet that are now donating their life fortune to causes like making sure that students going through medical schools who save lives never have to pay tuition again, and looking at big causes like and diseases that impact all of us, like cancer. I see people taking steps now to release that wealth and put it to work in really meaningful ways that aren't simply economic, but have an economic benefit, but so many others as well. Those are the people who inspire me. That's what I strive to be, that type of leader, whatever that looks like, and it will probably take many different shapes over the next, however many years I'm fortunate to have.
What is the one thing that, what's your moonshot goal right now?
Goodness, when I think about Ottawa, we are so passionate about trying to create a better and greater opportunity for founders from every walk of life, for companies that invest here, the experience together with our partners and friends at Ottawa Tourism for the visitors and all those who come to create a unique experience in our city and to help people from every walk of life fulfill their dreams. That might be the one word to help, or the one tagline, to help people from every walk of life fulfill their dreams. And in our world at Invest Ottawa, and now that I'm very grateful and fortunate to have that hat of CEO, I'm very, very focused on how we bring that vision to life and achieve the greatest impact possible, economic, social, and environmental, to help founders from every walk of life accelerate their growth and success. I believe that we are a startup capital. It's incredible to me, the entrepreneurial momentum we have here, Rob. While across the country, there is a drop in the number of entrepreneurs who are launching, building, and scaling new businesses. We're seeing the complete opposite here in Ottawa. Like, big shout out and kudos to our venture development team that works with those amazing founders every day on the ground. Different stages, different sectors, different skill sets, diversifying our pipeline. That's Main Street as well as tech. I'm in love with that concept, those bold, brave founders that are building. We need them, we want them here, and we thank them for building in our city. Foreign direct investment and business retention and expansion is another big part of our goal. How do we attract the right investment in to complement our sector, to create new opportunity, new jobs, while also building up all those multinationals that create so many jobs and add so much value, particularly R&D intensive ones, where decisions are made abroad, in Europe, in the US. We want to create as much competitive advantage to keep them here and collaborating with all of our startups, scale-ups, creating job opportunities, commercial and business deals, talent opportunities, collaborations. I'm a big proponent of everything operating as a system. I think if we look at any one part of our economy in isolation, we're doing ourselves a huge disservice and we're leaving a lot off the table. Our Main Street businesses, our tourism sector benefit when our tech sector is thriving, whether that's startups, scale-ups, or multinationals. All of us work together, and similarly, the employees and the families of all those multinational startup scale-ups, they benefit when we have incredible experiences created by all the Main Street businesses, the restaurants, all the service providers, the tourism sector, and all of its activities and rich experience. It all works together. And then when I look at Area X.O, commercialization of these homegrown technologies and exporting them to the world, how do we drive international revenue into our local economy by commercializing those impactful homegrown technologies faster that are having economic, social, and environmental impact? It all works together as a suite. So it's big, big, big opportunity for our city while addressing those challenges that are very deep for us right now. Our mayor is very passionate about revitalizing our downtown with our partners at the Ottawa Board of Trade and so many partners across the city. That's a big one for us. I think about, transit and how we work together at Area X.O to maybe offer new ideas that are smart mobility related that could serve all of our people and our city and our economy in really novel and impactful ways. We have a new arena being built. That new investment was announced at LeBreton Flats. Bayview Yards is right next door. How do we create an innovation village that connects to Canada North Tech Park, the largest of its kind in Canada, our airport, these important economic districts, and come together in ways we haven't before? I have a long list of moonshots, Rob. This is one of the things that I'm learning in my journey, is being very focused, collaboration for impact, find our right swim lane so that we can contribute the right expertise and help everyone to shine. There's room for everyone to succeed, and our region needs it all, and it all works together.
So amazing. I mean, if only the Ottawa Senators were better.
Hey, I'm a big fan. I should have had my Ottawa Senators jersey here in gear. We are big fans of the Senators, and we're ready for a great season. So go Sens, go.
Now, Sonya, I'd love to get your advice for our listeners. So, what is one tip that you can give our listeners that'll help them succeed in 2025 and beyond at this point?
I really am a big believer in collaboration, and it's a word that gets discussed and described an awful lot, and it's not necessarily always unpacked. How do you collaborate successfully? That takes so much work, so much intention, so much buy-in, and it's not done quickly. It's not done on the side of a desk. It has to be something that is intentionally built into an annual plan, to a strategic plan, into your resource strategy, the way you finance an organization, a project, or an endeavor, the mindset of the individuals that come together to ensure that it's a shared vision, a shared win. The kinds of challenges that we have, whether you're in a region like Ottawa, a country like Canada, or our planet, they are very complex. They are interconnected. They are increasingly complex and with long-term potential negative impacts. And so bringing together and being open to having diverse perspectives, diverse people, ideas, backgrounds, expertise, and experiences, being open to that and building it into your plan with intention, with proper resources and support, and actually mapping out the collaborative steps the same way we would any project where you have milestones and gates and all of the different checkpoints and approvals. Collaboration needs to be managed as rigorously and with as much passion and vigor as all of those standard product development or technology roadmaps that we develop and that underpin every type of business or organization in different ways. Collaboration needs to be at the heart of it. Otherwise, you are never going to achieve the kind of impact as quickly, as efficiently, or as impactfully as possible. And there can be so many other benefits that you don't even build into your plan when you think about collaboration. All of the potential power that springs from those intersections that you had no idea. I see that every day in the companies we collaborate with, in our organization. That's that learning culture. If you're open to that and you're embracing it, you can create big moonshots and track that progress and see all kinds of other benefits that emerge that you never dreamed possible. That would be the one maybe idea. I hate, guidance, and I think it's the idea that I would love to leave with your audience that I think is very powerful, and it's an endless learning journey. It really is.
It's so true. It's the collaboration, teamwork, that's where the magic happens. Now for folks out there, obviously, if you want to find Sonya, investottawa.ca, sheboot.ca. Now, Sonya, how can our listeners support you?
Oh my goodness. Do you know what? I think supporting local business, supporting local founders, even if they're in tech, if they're not Main Street, I mean, we can all go out and support our Main Street founders and businesses, and that is so critical. Coming out of the pandemic, they have faced disproportionate challenges. But even our tech founders and all of the innovators that are doing marvelous things, that are putting their whole livelihoods on the line to build businesses and create jobs, amplifying them, promoting them, when you see them and you meet them in different forums at different events, letting them know you're grateful, gratitude, a culture of gratitude for all the businesses, innovators, and companies we support, helping to build them up, driving forward on the opportunity so that they continue to build, create something great here in our region and in Canada. And I would say that I know your listeners are global, right? Do that in your communities. Your communities need it no matter where you are. And thinking about diversity, women, non-binary men, all of us working together. It will take all of us driving forward on goals to support each other no matter who we are, what walk of life we are in. We all benefit when our community is stronger. Every person in it is stronger. There's more opportunity. There's a better economic level of growth. There's a better society, a more collaborative and kind society. Be kind, be supportive, build up, whether you're here in Ottawa or whether you're anywhere on planet Earth.
Folks, if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will. Now, Sonya, we have to ask you the biggest and best question that we ask to all our podcast guests. What do you want your legacy to be?
Impact. Triple bottom line impact, where it's not simply about one economic benefit or societal benefit or environmental benefit, but that it's people, that hopefully in some small way I've touched the lives of people and helped them to fulfill a part of their dream or part of their potential that maybe wouldn't have looked the same or unfolded in the same way or been as meaningful. It's the impact we have on the people around us who contribute to that legacy and to creation of a better world. And so that's what I hope my legacy will be, that people will look back and say, she made a difference. She made a difference in my life. She made a difference in our city, in our country, in our world, and left the world a little bit better. And that's my wish for everyone, right? That we leave the world a little bit better than the way we found it, because we all have a role to play. That would be very special, and that would mean a lot to me.
Well, you've already done most of that, and it's only going to get bigger. So folks out there, of course, I've dropped Sonya's LinkedIn in the podcast notes so you can connect with her, Sonya Shorey, as well as you can check out Invest Ottawa, investottawa.ca, and sheboot.ca. For folks out there, obviously, if you want executive coaching, leadership development programs, elitehighperformance.com, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. Sonya, it's been so incredible to hear you and your mission, and I'm so fired up about all these moonshots now.
We're very grateful for this opportunity. I would love to thank you for everything you do, for inspiring that next generation of leaders, equipping them with the skills to succeed. Thank you for the privilege of being with you and your audience today. It was wonderful.
Thank you so much. And for folks out there, where I want to leave you all with is exactly Sonya's advice, right? Is you can take a moonshot, you can set a big audacious goal, and then you can break it down into actionable steps that you can take that are the annual, the 5-year, the 10-year, and get there. It doesn't need to be just like, hey, I'm going to do this and then hope. So you can turn that big audacious goal into daily action, and that's how you're going to get there. Sonya, incredible advice, such an incredible, inspiring interview. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
And everybody listening, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you all next week.